Welcome to the lighter side of the dark side. It's your weekly freak show here on Renegade Radio. Also Spotify, Apple, Google, Stitcher, Deezer, TuneIn, Radio Public, wherever you're listening to us. It's the Dark Mark Show. I'm Dark Mark, the goth comedian. As you can tell if you're watching this on YouTube by my guyliner, I just want to say hi again to the real fuck you, or no, the real F you, who wondered if I was a transvestite. I'm not, but,
I read about that.
But I'm wearing makeup right now, so just for you. Anyway, we got a great show. And somebody was asking me what guests pulled out this week. I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about.
Love it.
Actually, this is going to be a great. We've been talking up a storm already. Two of the most talented people I know. Two people that have been in show business for a long time and will be for a long time to come because they're both very talented. They're both on the show that I produced, and everybody was raving about both of them. Here she is. She's been on the show before. You know her.
Hello.
The former lead singer of Otto's Daughter,
Yes.
now making her name as a fashion designer with her solo work, and also about to start her own podcast.
Yeah.
That's Jacqueline Van Bierk.
Hello.
And yeah, everybody's got three names except for me. Jacqueline Van Bierk, and right next to you is veteran comedian, very funny. He's got stories upon stories upon stories. I've been trying to get him on the show for a long time, and I guess all I had to do was ask, because here he is.
That's all you have to do is ask. I'll come.
Franchie San Pedro.
Hey, how you doing?
It's a very international show because you're Cuban, right, Franchie?
I am.
You're Cuban. You're German.
German.
And I'm
And we meet right in the middle. It'll be fine.
a European mod. Yes. So when those Germans and Cubans get together, we'll see what happens.
We're good engineers, too. We can
Oh.
make things run forever. You just create them new.
Yes. So before I get started, I want to. Hannah, by the way, my co-host, is not here tonight. I really want you to meet her, though,
I know.
at some point, because you guys are going to be best friends. But and you met her.
I've
you
met
hung
her.
Out,
I
and you
think
hung
she's
out with her.
fantastic.
But
At the whiskey, I think.
yes, I did a show at Whiskey. You came by, and I appreciate that. And we were regaling us about stories about the 80s and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And we'll get some of those on the air.
Some of those I have to rewrite and read because I forgot.
I can imagine. Well, if you partied in the 80s and you remembered it, you weren't really there.
Nah.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
making shit up. Well, speaking of that, Audible. Speaking of stories, if you go to audibletrial.com/DMS, once again, audibletrial.com/DMS, you get a free book and a free 30-day trial and 2 Audible originals. That's for free. You don't have to pay anything. You're on the road.
That's the deal.
You just flew to Europe. I'm sure you had to get, you had to get some entertainment somehow.
I was binging TV,
Really?
like movies.
I have my mom read me books.
Well, that's the thing.
I
That's
have her
Audible.
record them. She feels good.
Yeah, so you have your own personal Audible, but
Yep.
if you don't, go to audibletrial.com/DMS. You can get the Heroin Diaries by Nikki Sixx. If you want some,
I
Haiti-
read
Actually,
that.
I want to
That was
read that.
good. That
I was
really
there.
if you want some
I'd
Haiti
like to
stories,
read that.
I can imagine. They got all sorts of books about comedy. They have comedy albums. They have comedy albums by everybody.
Really?
Oh yeah. And any comedy album you can think of: Carlin Classic Gold, Richard Pryor. No, the only two.
Paul Lynn?
Not Paul Lynn.
Paul Lynn made 2.
I'd have to look that up. I don't think they have every. Well, I know they don't have Bill Cosby or Louis C.K., which is
Well,
You know,
that's because
Yeah, obvious.
there's enough exposure on them. That's why.
they used to. No, and it was just weird because they do have Aziz Ansari's book, and he got in a little trouble. So I don't know what their policy is. They have Brody Stevens' last comedy album, which is great, and remember him for the laughter that he gave, or whatever. They got Jim Gaffigan. They got everybody. They got Tig Notaro.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah. They got all sorts of comedy. Remember record stores? I paid $22 for George Carlin Classic Gold. Get it free on Audible. Just go to audibletrial.com/DMS. Also, you get 2 Audible originals. What are Audible originals? They are programming that Audible does themselves. You remember the movie Alien 3?
Huh?
Think of what it could be, because one of the Audible originals this month is the script by William Gibson. You're familiar with William Gibson, the author? He was a big cyberpunk author in the 90s, early 2000s. He wrote a script for Alien 3 that was never used.
Oh, yeah?
Now,
So alternative.
yeah, so on Audible, they have Michael Biehn, Lance Henriksen, and a cast do Alien 3, run through the script. I want to check that
That's
out.
cool.
That
Yeah.
sounds so good.
They also have sci-fi novels narrated by John Waters, Zachary Quinto.
John Waters is cool. I like
I
it.
love John Waters. They have a new Audible original with the one that's on Saturday Night Live now. The one that's great on Saturday Night Live now.
Which one?
Help me out. The one that's great. Everybody else.
Well, there's a few. I mean, but
The one that was a Ghostbusters. The
Ghostbusters. Leslie Jones.
No. The white one.
She is fun though.
The white one. You should have said that.
The white one. The white.
Oh. I don't remember her name. Leslie's one.
Kate McKinnon. Kate McKinnon.
Yes.
Oh,
And she
she's
is
so
awesome.
good. Yes.
Kate McKinnon
When
has
she
She
does
is
stuff, it's just like
funny.
eerie.
Kate
Yes.
McKinnon has an Audible original where she plays like the Wicked
Oh, she
Witch.
does?
It's great. It's great. audibletrial.com/DMS. By the way, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I think Kate McKinnon is the best person they've had on Saturday Night Live since Eddie Murphy.
Yep.
She's
Besides
that
Kristen
good.
Wiig. Kristen Wiig was really good too.
She wasn't as funny as Kate McKinnon.
No, Kate McKinnon is very,
Kate
very
McKinnon
funny.
comes out.
And she, I mean, when she
She's
she
so
gets into
versatile,
character,
like, yeah.
it's like,
It's so
How can you
original.
break
so
this?
different.
Yeah.
And
know?
it's so funny. And she can play anyway. Now, Kristen Wiig's good. I'm not saying she's not good.
But I agree with you. She transforms into anything. That's crazy.
Like Eddie Murphy, Belushi, Bill Murray,
Right.
people like that just popped off the
she's
screen.
got a certain charisma.
She's
She
got
does.
that.
She
She's got
does.
that. But anyway, so go to audibletrial.com/DMS. Either that, Bob Newhart has an Audible original where he interviews Will Ferrell, Sarah Silverman, and current Judd Apatow and current.
I have to see this now. 'Cause
well, it's
now-
on. Well, you got to listen to it. It's on Audible.
Well, and I'm not going to see it. I mean, I have to
Yes.
see where I get it. And
Yes,
then I'll hear it.
audibletrial.com/DMS. Also,
I'm sold.
also, I don't know if either one of you are vegan, but it doesn't really matter.
What, Regan or vegan?
Vegan. We were talking about this when you were
Yes.
hanging out with Hannah because Hannah's vegan.
My
Doom.
daughter's vegan.
Go take her to Doobie's Home Cooking because you would love it. She will love it.
Really.
Doobies?
My
Doomies,
daughter.
Oh,
works-
yeah, I love Doomies.
Doomies,
Yes,
Doomies,
yes,
Doomies.
I
yes,
haven't
yes.
been there. My daughter works at Sage.
It's like vegan,
It's like vegan junk food.
vegan junk
Oh,
food.
really?
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
DOOMIES. Doomie's.
You would
Home
love
Cooking.
it. You would love it.
Okay.
They have like bacon strips and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah,
Tasty.
You know what's really funny? I'm not a vegan.
Yeah.
But I will eat vegan food and enjoy it.
You'll love it.
It's
You'll,
better now.
You'll
Yeah.
love it. They have. You would never even know. They have
So when
shrimp.
we're kids,
Delicious.
here's a
Shrimp
piece
po'
of grass.
boys,
There
yeah.
you go. That's what you get.
No, here's what they got: Philly cheesesteak, fried chicken.
Yeah.
Shrimp po' boys. They have a Mexican restaurant right next door, Next Mez, that has. Last time I was there, I had a carne asada burrito, wet, delicious. They got flautas, biggest flautas I ever had.
Really?
Go to 1253 Vine Street, right in the corner of Alton Vine. You remember the M Bar?
Yeah.
Right next to
How
where
can
the
I
M Bar
forget?
used to be.
Yes.
And also, there's two restaurants in Culver City and one in Toronto, Canada. Doomie's Home Cooking. The best.
Doomies?
Doomies.
As in
Doomies.
Doomy?
As in doom and gloom.
Doom.
DOOMIES.
I like it the other way, but I'll remember it this
Well,
way
yeah,
phonetically.
don't take your daughter to Doomies. Take her to Doomies.
Well, I'm not Trump, yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
That desserts are really good too.
Yes.
That's so good.
Deep fried Oreos, chocolate cake,
See, I can't have that.
carrot cake. Morgan had a carrot cake. It was
Carrot cake
delicious and
good?
it was huge. But then again, who wants carrot cake with me today?
Yum, yum.
Anyway, so there she is, Jacqueline Van Bierk.
Hello.
You just got back from France.
I did.
Oh, what were you doing there?
I went to the Media Music Festival / conference,
Yeah.
which is like a 4-day, just like music business, artists from all over Europe,
Yeah.
publishers, labels, managers.
Now, are you bigger in Europe or in America these days?
What?
Are you bigger in Europe or America these days?
I am big in my own head.
No, but I mean, we went over this last time. You were in the industrial band, Otto's Daughter.
yeah.
And now you're doing more EDM stuff. Although I
Yeah.
listened to your latest song, which we might play a little later, and it's a little it's heavy. It's going back more to an industrial
Which one?
sound. What was it called?
Jump?
No, not Jump.
I go back and forth. I'm like a little,
But
I do the dark and the light. Like I love EDM, I love dance, and I also
Right.
love the dark shit. Like so, I always go, back and forth. Otto's Daughter started in the States, so I didn't
Right,
do that in
right.
Germany.
Daggers.
Daggers. Oh yeah, that's actually an older song. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah,
is that
that's
kind of is that?
I performed that at your show.
Yep.
Yes, you
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
Yes, you did. You were great. But
That was a
Thank
great
you.
show, by the way.
Thank
I
you.
enjoyed watching.
Thank you. I had fun.
You came out, and this is at a weird place. We had a bunch of comics and strange acts. You came out, balloons fell from the sky. I left because I was on stage for a while. I was a little hot, so I went to get some air. came back, and all these guys in the first few rows are dancing and they're going crazy. Everybody was just having a great time.
That's the goal every time I play a show. I want it to be very interactive, I think like the audience should be part of the show. That's my
But the thing is,
my goal.
I've seen reluctant audiences be part of the shows. They weren't reluctant. They were happy. They were loving it.
Yeah, everyone was participating pretty well when you
Yeah.
were up there. They enjoyed what you were doing, so it was easy to
Yeah.
interact.
It was also a great crowd, actually.
Yeah, it was a really good crowd.
Really cool crowd.
So, are you big? So, because you're doing more EDM, which I it's big in the States, but I think in Europe, I think it's.
Well, that's why I went to meet him. I'm just kind of starting out again, basically, as my solo act, because
Right.
Otto's daughter is gone. And so that's why I went there, to just like promote my music and get some publishers and labels interested and collaborate with like European artists,
Yeah.
It was just great. And it was right by, it's at Cannes, I guess it's Cannes or Cannes, I can never.
The Cannes Film
The
Festival.
Cannes Film Festival. So that's the same place.
Right.
Except it's for the music, so the whole vibe was like awesome. It's like right by the ocean, like or by the water, and
Any big collaborations?
there's a few talks, but nothing is talk is talk, right?
Yes.
Let's just
Nothing solid yet.
nothing solid yet, yeah.
Well, it was interesting because I was doing some more research on you. What I forgot to bring up last time you were on is that a lot of your songs have been featured in TV shows,
Yeah.
like Oprah.
Yeah.
Like, or did you
Yeah.
do original music for
That was different because I wrote original music for that.
So
That was like music library music, so it's just instrumental music for it. I composed as well.
Dr.
So,
Oz, Oprah.
Yeah, Nate Berkus, that kind of stuff. Yeah, that was like for making music for music libraries, which is like different than being an artist or like being a singer-songwriter. Because it's a slight difference between, making background music that should not be distracting the dialogue.
Oh, is that the trick? Okay.
I'm impressed.
Yeah,
My family's usually on Springer, but they don't play music.
yeah.
I think, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Springer's been. I'm trying to think when they've had fights. I think they would ring a bell and stuff. But
Yeah.
that's about it.
That's my family,
Yeah. Oh, Jerry Springer.
always.
Yeah. So, but how do you get your song on Oprah? That's pretty good.
It
and how does that
was-
pay?
It paid decent. It paid pretty good because it's also syndicated and it's like all over the world. It came because I was a member of that company called Taxi Music, and so it's all like getting to conferences and meeting people and collaborating with other people. And then somebody recommended me to a library. They were like, "Hey, she's really cool and she does some really good stuff." And at the time, I was actually not that good. I was just I was just starting out.
But it helped you get better.
It helped me get better for
so
sure.
that's great.
And I really like that because it's different than being an artist and writing a song because you don't have to think of lyrics. You just like write, very basic, but like either intense, drama tension or something uplifting depending on the situation. Like somebody, tells a story like, and then some happy ending kind of thing. So you want to support that emotional
That's
scene.
That's another type of score than the happy endings.
Yeah.
We've all heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah, porn scoring is a whole different thing. But but so you
That'd
get
be fun to
a car,
write for
you get a
porn.
car, you get a
Yeah, I bet it would be. Ta-da!
yeah, no, you got to get the wah-wah guitar and the bongos and the whole thing. I don't know. But have you thought about scoring movies? Has anybody approached you with that?
Yeah, and in the future maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to do a TV show. That'd be so awesome.
Right.
That'd
Which is
be my
weird
dream.
because and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm trying to think. There's not a lot of women scorers, and I don't know why.
There is a few, and I think it's now that, in this kind of climate we're in right now, there's more support.
Right.
Women are really getting hired more because in the past, no, there weren't really many women,
Right.
Being hired. Like it's usually the guys that get the gig because it's a man's world.
It is.
It's changing.
It's changing.
Yeah.
It's changing.
It's a good thing.
We're
Yeah.
going to talk about
They
that.
really
but-
Because
put a
we're
lot of
losing a
effort.
lot of talent if we don't do that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of girl producers, women composers, women that do movies. And,
I'm sure.
and, yeah, so they being brought to light more now.
But I'm trying
It's
to think,
changing.
every movie I see, it's Danny Elfman or
Yeah.
Hans Zimmer or somebody
Yeah.
else like that.
It's almost also like, once there's a bunch of composers who are really famous and they love their work, they want that,
Right.
where they would even tell us, like, we want something like Danny Elfman, like, can you make that,
Yeah.
So it's kind of like,
Yeah, it puts you
Yeah.
in a hard place because you want to be able to do something that's different and
Your
good.
fingerprint, yeah, exactly.
But they keep you under glass. Going,
A little
we
bit.
want this, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you be more like Leno? Huh.
Oh, did you ever get that? There's Franchie here.
No, when I first started out, I would get, hey, can you be a little more like this guy or this? No, man, I am who I am.
Right. And when did you start?
I started 35, let me see here, in 1979,
Wow.
When you were 5 years old.
You were 5 years old.
Yeah, I know. I
So-
wish.
So
No, I started in high school.
40th anniversary.
Yeah, I started in high school, and then I worked for a magician a couple of times locally in Monrovia in Arcadia.
Yeah.
At like the VFWs type thing.
Okay.
And then
Did you do comedy or
Yeah,
you just
stand-up.
okay. So
which was mostly rip off from anybody I could
that's
just to get it
that's the way
working.
everybody starts. Yeah.
And then I went to the store. Went to the comedy store before it even had the building around it. The walkway. It was all
Oh,
dirt.
okay. Oh, wow.
First person I saw was Skip Stevenson on stage.
Oh, yeah.
And later on,
Skip Stevenson, who was in Real People.
Yeah,
Which I have to explain what Real People is.
Real People was like
it was one of the big, probably the first reality shows.
kind of a reality where they'd show clips and
It was a weird show, and it was a huge show.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's really it's never been rerun, so people don't know what people I guess can see it on YouTube. But
I guess they could, but yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of reality. Like like the name suggests, real people, and that they would have like little vignettes, little
tapings, little things of things that had happened to real people, and
they'd either go out on the road and interview these people, or they would have them in the studio.
Right.
And it was like the first kind of reality show.
Right.
Wow.
It was before America's Got Talent and all that stuff.
Right. Except these weren't necessarily entertainers; they were just
No, they're just different people.
Yeah. So
They were real people.
So you saw Skip Stevenson. So what did you think about that?
Well, I enjoyed that, and then Charlie Hill I met
Right.
in the beginning, and Harris Pete and all these guys. I mean, you kid. I'm like bushy, wide-eyed, and stuff.
And were you still under 21?
No.
Okay,
I was exactly 20. No, I was exactly 18 when I went there the first time.
Okay.
And then I went in the service for a little while and came back out
Okay.
and went straight there. You couldn't keep me away from there. Where everybody else
Right.
was, surfing and everything in my area, I had to go to Hollywood.
Yeah.
And so people go to the mall, I went to Hollywood.
So what was your first set at the Comedy Store like?
Oh, it was not good.
Yeah.
I would work there and get my spots whenever I could. And then I started at the Laugh Factory when it was a hole in the wall, a real hole in the wall, a little stage in the back.
Well, see, I can't even imagine that.
Oh, I know, but I used to, with a friend of mine, Glenn Rabney, we used to grab people from the store and walk them to the Laugh Factory.
Oh, wow.
And talk them into going into the. I used to bark out
That's not a
front.
short walk either.
No, but shit, I was what, 20?
Did Jamie give you a cut or what?
No, I didn't got no cut from
Hey,
him.
buddy, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to the store.
Yeah.
I want you to get some people, have them walking down here.
First time I went there, I did an open mic, and I was dying terribly to the point where he turned off the lights.
Oh, Jamie?
Whoa.
Yeah, he turned off the lights on me, and then all of a sudden I took out my lighter and lit it up and started talking, and then he turned them back on.
Okay.
And he goes, "That's what I wanted. I wanted real stuff, not scripted stuff." And I had a lot of scripted stuff, and ever since, I have ideas and stuff, but I don't write anything.
You're very, very off the cuff.
Yeah.
I was just trying to describe you to some people today, like, because somebody saw the show and they're like, "Oh, he was great." And
Yeah. Oh, I have ideas, but nothing's written in stone.
Yeah, I don't
because
do it either.
it
I
could
don't write
change,
either. Yeah.
And I like that.
Yeah.
So wait, you guys go and do your show without really knowing what you're gonna. You kind of have an idea of what you're gonna do, or
Yeah.
you just go totally play it by
Except
ear,
2
like-
minutes before the show, I think to myself, I got nothing to effing talk about. And then I go up on stage, and as soon
Oh
as
my
I'm
God.
walking up,
That is so.
it starts
scary.
hitting me.
Really?
And over the years, I've accomplished having a great confidence that I'm not going to fall or fail.
Wow.
And not everything's funny.
Right.
Not everything is not is not funny.
Right.
It's a catch and fall. And as long as I'm on the edge, I want you on the edge.
Right.
And that to me is
That's cool.
stand up.
I'm a little more. I have a plan in mind. When I first started, I wrote everything. I wrote everything out. Then I would just write bullet points, and then I just scrapped that all together and just sort of. I have a pretty good idea what's gonna. Except when I do a one man show. If I do a one man show and I'm doing an hour, and that's a whole different thing. Then I'll have to write bullet points. But if it's just a regular show, you just want to go with the flow because sometimes,
right?
Sometimes the crowd, a bit will have to should go here, and then another bit goes there.
If you're not recording for the film or something,
right.
You go to a show to enjoy the spontaneity of the show. Like even when you sing and so forth, you might slide a little bit here, and all of a sudden it catches on. Like when I did your show, I didn't know what to expect. They didn't know what to expect, and I just started talking, and then I have enough. I've lived a pretty good life, so I have a lot of experiences I can draw from just talking to one person.
Right. Well, once you've been doing it for long enough time, you got enough material that something's going to come out. So
you hope.
Yeah. What's the difference between comedy in say '81 and comedy now?
Well, now
because there was a boom then, and there's a boom now.
There's a boom. Yeah, there's a boom now, and I would say that the biggest thing is rewording things so people will listen and not shut down because of the political correctness that's going on.
So you really think that it's because
I think it affects it, but I also think that a comic's responsibility is to find how to say what they want to say.
I agree with you.
A lot of go, well, it's too PC and I can't. Yeah and no.
Exactly.
Because, look, I love the greats. I got to see a lot of them live many, many times.
Right.
But those same people were the stepping stones to the comics of today.
Right.
And if the comics of today want to do what they did, it wouldn't work.
Right.
It wouldn't work for them today.
Right. Now, when you're talking about the greats, who are you talking about?
Richard Pryor.
Right.
I loved Richard Pryor. I would watch him at the Comedy Store. He would sit in the way back when I was doing the door, and he eventually would go up. Paul Mooney.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
And then Sam.
Sam Kinison,
but even more so than Sam was, why is it just losing my face?
Bill Hicks?
Well, Bill Hicks was okay with that. I liked him, but it's still too involved with his own head.
See, that's why I always thought. It's funny because I don't, I know this is heresy for a lot of comedy fans, but I don't find Bill Hicks funny.
If you say something like, well, Hicks was all right, but boom. No, everybody and their mother's going to come after you.
No, will come after me. And I've said this before on other podcasts. I think his material is great. I think it's very well written, very interesting, very, very, I love it. His delivery, though, like you say, I think he's a little in his head. Even when Dennis Leary would rip his stuff off, I thought Dennis Leary did it funnier.
It's if you're inspired by somebody to go move on and you're not stealing every single word.
Right.
If you say something and then I tag along with it, like we're having a conversation, that's what comedy is.
Yeah.
If you rip off word for word somebody, then I'm sorry, you're stealing.
Yeah, no, I give you that.
But I mean,
Lenny Bruce, the same thing.
Yeah.
But
Lenny Bruce was fine, and then all of a sudden he got so involved with his court hearings and everything else that after a while you're going,
Yeah.
What
cracks me up is when Jerry Seinfeld, of all people, is like, geez, comedy's getting too PC. Like, you are the lead.
He is the reason.
Yes. Well, I'm saying, when you started, they wanted to shoehorn you and make you into a Leno or Seinfeld or a clean comic, right? Yeah. Even more politically correct than what passes for politically correct now, correct?
Yes.
So what's the difference?
And I could never do that.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's things happen in each one of our lives that isn't politically correct.
Right.
Talk to the person that isn't a comic, that gets treated badly one way or the other. A woman that gets, life is not politically correct.
Yeah.
We'd like it to be.
Right.
But it's not.
It's not.
But I just love it. It's like, I can't play colleges. My one sock in the laundry bed is too edgy for the kids.
Well, because the tide is against the Chinese building.
Yeah. Well, but it's an interesting, weird political correctness because you can't say, for instance, you couldn't say Oriental on stage, but you can do a rape joke.
Yeah.
So that rape is okay.
Unless it was an Oriental.
Yeah, you can't rape an Oriental.
No.
I guess Lisa Lampanelli's out of
Well,
business.
she got her own niche, though.
You know what? It's
'Cause
funny
she was pretty
certain
freaking,
comics
like-
will go over that, and they're just accept. It's just him.
right.
You know, I mean,
And that's the other
Kathy
thing.
Griffith got. Oh,
Yeah, but I mean that wasn't funny. That was, I mean,
it wasn't.
I'm not a Trump fan, but I thought
I don't think it was funny either. But
But I think you should be able to
she shouldn't have got
do
the
it.
backlash
Yeah.
that she got.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, see, this is where I disagree with you.
Okay.
Because and let me tell you something. I'm not a Trump fan
Yeah.
at all. But and to me, and this she even said this and admitted it. It's not necessarily Trump. Trump's a public figure. You should do whatever you want. The people that actually got their heads beheaded from ISIS are watching that. Their families.
I can see that.
Yeah,
point.
so I mean, there's more involved than I don't like Trump, and there's more clever and funny ways.
Well, I don't doubt
That
that
is-
it could have
that's
been. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't think it was funny.
Yeah, I was like, no,
You
come
know.
on, it's just and the thing is, even though it's Trump and he's an asshole, whatever. I think you have to have a little modicum of respect for the presidential office. If somebody did that to Obama,
Oh
They could
God,
crucify him.
Jesus!
Yeah.
they
Exactly.
could crucify it, and I
Yeah.
think they should.
Here's the way I look at it. I'm not a Trump fan,
Yeah.
but if he can't respect the office, I surely can.
Okay.
You know, and I really would want him to succeed
Right.
instead of what's going on. But
I agree.
I don't think that's going to happen. So,
And the thing
You
is,
know?
I
and now the best thing we can do is just go, hey, you know what? Wait until the re-election. Do it then. You move past this impeachment.
well, I want him out of office, but I don't necessarily want him dead or beheaded.
No,
That's
I
the
don't
thing.
want none of that.
I
I want him around to stick around and see what happens.
Well, I want a new president because honestly, you can't make fun of Trump because he's such a parody of himself.
He makes fun of himself.
I mean, well, he's just his hair's stupid, his makeup's stupid. There's no way you can make him funny. He's already a fucking buffoon.
That's why I don't even. I mean, I will say things about him in a private sector,
Right.
and my personal opinions, but on stage, why even bother anymore?
But I mean, anybody does a Trump joke, it's the same shtick.
There's a comic
Oh, if you
that's
push it-
SNL has been doing this for so long, and it's so freaking
but
boring.
it's nothing to do
Yeah.
anymore.
Ugh.
There's a comic.
It's annoying.
There's
actually.
a comic who's very, very funny, and he's a Republican,
Right.
and he says a few things, and you laugh at him because they're funny,
Yeah.
because it's funny on both sides. Okay.
Sure.
It is.
And by the time he gets to it, he goes, "Oh well." Now he tells everybody he's a Trump supporter. Well, too late. You already like me, because you do already.
That's
like
funny.
him. And he's very, very funny. And people are forgetting what funny is.
Yeah.
You know, they go, "Oh, you can't talk about this. You can't." Funny's funny.
Right.
Yeah.
If you make fun of a non-Trump supporter, it's just as funny if you hit the right points.
Right.
You know.
So, or although it'd be funny if Buttigieg gets in there, because then what are you gonna do?
then all of a sudden, oh, Chase, now we can't talk
Kamala,
about
or
the
Kamala
gays.
Harris. Kamala Harris is good. She's so mixed that who knows. But anyway, I don't know.
I'm really hoping there's a day when you say, "Hey, that's a good person," and you don't lead it off with a black person, yellow person, whatever.
No, I'm just saying as far as comedy wise.
Well, as far as comedy-wise,
Politically,
there's so many other things to talk about,
Right.
You know,
and I really want to talk about that, but
that are caused by whatever this president or
Right.
administration or the past administration
right.
did, and that's affecting us.
Right.
The president being up there right now is not affecting us directly at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
The things he's done in the past and other presidents have, that's what we should talk about.
Right. Well, before I really want to get off the subject. I don't know how we got on it, but
You started it.
I did, and
Your fault.
I apologize.
It wasn't him? Yeah, it was him.
It was him.
I apologize.
okay.
What?
Chocolate pudding.
No. What is what? I've got a joke about that. A very.
I'm sure you do.
A very kind of disgusting non-PC joke. What is the what line have you crossed? What's the joke that really crossed the line that you said?
I have this joke about how I started smoking pot. 'Cause I
Right.
found I do clean outs and stuff for people, for estates. And
really?
Yeah, and I was cleaning out this house, and I found a bunch of child porn, and I was disgusted.
Holy
what am I going to
shit.
do? I'm going to call the cops. But then I opened another drawer and found 2 pounds of pot. Well, hell, wait a minute.
I know what I
Before
keep and what I would leave.
Yeah, well, what I was doing was I smoked almost 2 pounds of pot, and found out that it takes the edge off of child porn.
Holy shit.
Now that's funny.
Thank you. And a bunch of people looked at me and they started laughing because they realized it's a joke. People,
It's a freaking joke. People need to take it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one that might take a moment.
It crossed a little bit. I couldn't see home plate.
I'm sorry. I'm stepped on the punchline either. I thought you were really telling the story. Do you really clean out houses?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know.
No. I've been doing that for as long as I've been doing stand-up.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah, I raised 4 kids doing it
Wow.
by myself. I mean,
What other strange things have you
Well,
found?
I do antiques and collectibles and
Right.
classic cars and bikes, and I find them when people call me up and go, "Hey, I need a house cleaned up. There's a hoarder." I'm the guy that comes in and cleans the hoarder's home.
Wow.
That is so cool.
It's amazing.
What's the most valuable thing you found?
Well, I can't tell you that because it's still in litigation. But no, I found what's her name's not the ruby shoe, but I found one of
Judy Garland?
Julie Garland's shoes
No
signed to
way.
Sid, 1939.
Wow.
What?
I still have that.
I
find,
They'll pay for your kids' college education.
Huh? Oh yeah. Well, yes and no. Sometimes you find something. Oh wow, this is worth a lot. No.
Well, give me an example of that.
Some of the old. I have old photographs from Ross Field, which is the old balloon academy back in the 1915, 16. For Army and all that. And
Right.
I sold some of that, and I thought it'd be worth a little more, but it wasn't. But it was still worth pretty good.
Okay.
And then I find I love old photographs,
Right.
and I have a lot of every home I've ever cleaned out, no matter how clean or not, you find the porn.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's
Serious?
got it. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Really?
Oh, everybody's got. I've got some World War II.
World
World War II porn?
Yes.
What?
Yes, but what it is, it's amazing because it's homegrown pictures of black men with white women. And the stuff, I mean, people are always trying to buy that up from me. Not that I have it in my car.
Really?
But, yeah.
Interracial 1940s porn.
And that's
Oh, my
very
God.
sought after. There's people that are into that,
Wow.
and then I find.
I didn't know interracial 1940s porn was a thing.
Apparently it is.
Wow.
But there's all sorts of little things like that. Then I get what did I? Oh, I did an estate recently. The guy was an astrologist,
Right.
and he built the first this one special telescope in high school,
Okay.
and it carried him the rest of his life. And he was an engineer and everything else, and he had some wonderful books. And he had a lot of weapons. I'm not into weapons, but
Okay.
Wow.
intriguing things.
Yeah, yeah.
And I find a lot of that stuff.
Well, now you tell me. If you find any knives, let me know.
Oh, you like knives?
My father deals knives.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I find knives all the
wow.
time.
And speaking of 1940s, and you ever date interracially?
What? No.
No. Okay. Just curious. Anyway.
Not really. Well,
Yeah.
not dated involved.
Okay. There you go. Anyway, I just trying to segue, but you.
But I want to know, how did you get into that? That is such an interesting.
Yeah. How do you get in that into
Okay.
that
How did
industry?
you-
You
how
wanna know how I got
start?
into it?
Yeah, I
It's
wanna
real
know
simple.
that.
One day, I was 17 years old and I had an old Chevy pickup, and the lady goes, "Hey, I'll give you $100 to take it to this dump." It was a bunch of trash and so
Right.
forth. So I took it to the dump, and right next to me, there was somebody throwing out suitcases. And I looked over, they left. I looked over, and there was all this letter. I took more out of the dump that day
Okay.
than I dropped off.
Right.
And it was this lady who was a slave at one time in Sacramento, in
Really?
Fremont. And her husband was a chef at the Waldorf. All this history and all these letters. And I'm like, I still have some of it. And I'm getting goosebumps. I remember reading it and going, oh, this is so cool. So the next time I had a chance to clean out a garage, I go, I'll do it. And I started working for real estate, and lawyers. And
Wow.
now it's a business. There's junk guys, and then there's me.
Okay.
I throw out the trash, but I sort everything through. By the time I'm done, I know more about that family than the family knows about them.
Wow.
Nice. I think.
That's a cool.
It's you know why it's afforded me to live the life I live, because I don't work well with others at
Right.
stores and stuff.
You're a comedian.
Yeah, I don't work well with others. You want me to do what? No.
That is so cool.
See, now you're kind of doing that now. Now you're independent. I mean, you had Otto's daughter, but now you got your music you're doing. You're composing. Also, Motivation Mondays.
Motivation Mondays.
Is that still a thing?
It's still a thing. I try to I skipped a few on YouTube where I just like inspire people. You know,
Yeah.
like I like doing that. You know what? It's actually for myself too. Where I'm like, it's Monday. Let's.
Well, you were telling me in private, you're like, sometimes it's hard to get motivated.
It is hard.
Motivation Monday.
It is hard to get motivated for Motivation Monday.
She has a
I can
motivation YouTube channel. She motivates people.
That's why I had one that said "fuck motivation."
Really? Fuck
Yeah.
motivation?
Yeah.
How did that
Well, it's hard. It's hard to do that because you want to be
Because
a good
sometimes you just
person.
and sometimes you just have to be like, you know what, I'm not motivated today, and it's okay. It's okay not to always be go.
It's a
do,
personal
do.
day when you're not motivated.
You
You
know?
just take it for yourself.
Yeah, and I think this we put so much pressure on ourselves all the time to like, for me personally, where I'm always like, oh God, I gotta do something. I have to do so many things, and it's just overwhelming. And
I went to Cancun a few weeks ago for 10 days.
you didn't invite me.
My wife would have had a problem, and not really. She would have liked you, but no, I went to Cancun, and then I went to the Mayan ruins in Tucson. Way at the end, it's closer to Belize, and I'm driving, and the whole time I was in Mexico, I was no problems.
Oh, nice.
I got back here and started twitching again.
Exactly.
Seriously, within 2 days, my eyes started twitching.
Right.
The LA hustle.
Exactly, and I thought it was crap
Yeah.
until I experienced it.
It's something
And,
about it.
It's like if we were able, I could never do this because I'm too self-centered to do it. But if I was able to go to an island and live the rest of my life with no phones or anything else, it would take me a little bit. But wouldn't it be great?
Oh my God, yeah.
You wouldn't have any kind of stress or anything. One day, whoever's in charge of the world blows it up. You didn't know. You just die like a butterfly. You're
Exactly.
okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to know what's happening?
No, you know what? In a way, I'm a comic, so yes, I want to know what's happening. But I think I could flip out and go to an island and just live the rest of my life happy.
Okay. That's many years in the game.
You know, and it's just, of course, I'd miss stand-up because I love stand-up.
Oh, you could do stand-up on the island.
Yeah, probably the better audience is the crabs and the sea lions.
Yeah. you never can tell. Was that the way you
You
felt?
can YouTube it.
Was that the way you felt? There's plenty of people do that. That's the way you felt coming back from France?
I was anxious to come back because I wanted to get back to work. I want to start working on music, but I was just too freaking like jet-lagged.
But you can work on music anywhere.
Yeah, you can.
Because there's musicians everywhere.
Absolutely. And
There's lots of comics, they say, but not really.
Yeah.
So you're okay with music.
Oh, yes, there are.
No.
Oh, you mean real comics?
Yeah.
real
Okay.
comics.
Yeah.
People that are funny because they're funny. People
Right.
that think of things because they think different, not because they want to make you laugh. It's because
Right.
they think different.
Right.
You know, of course, our goal is to make you laugh,
Right.
but not by stretching how you feel.
Right.
Right.
It's how you feel.
And then you have the YouTube channel, you have the music, you have the composing, and the fashion designing too.
Well, I designed, actually, this is my design, the
I was gonna
shawl,
say,
right?
yeah.
The sun protector shawl.
Let's
I haven't really-
stretch again. Let's see.
Yeah, here we go.
Is that
So
one piece?
It's one piece, and it's basically so that when you're driving, it's so awesome because I needed something, right?
Oh,
When
so
you're
it doesn't
driving
burn
in this,
your arms.
exactly. I just hate
You
that.
stay goth.
You stay
Stay
goth,
pale.
you know.
Stay pale.
Keep
Yeah.
your chest and your arms
Yeah.
nice and pale.
So you kind of got a tan.
This is
from
as pale
France.
as I'm getting.
Yeah, no.
I was wearing it for the most time in France, and we were mostly inside, you know, it's
Yeah.
like doing all these panels and stuff like that. So the clothing line is really focused just on the shawl at the moment because
Okay.
I don't have that much time. I have all these ideas, you know, but I'm like, oh my God,
Oh,
like,
That's actually a very good idea. I mean,
yeah,
I see
I needed
a
it.
lot of Asian women when they drive.
Yes.
They have that one sleeve on.
Yeah,
He almost said Oriental.
But see
No,
what
I did not. I wasn't talking about rugs.
But see, you know what I didn't like about that? Because it's tight. I don't like the tight thing. I like.
No, but I'm saying
Yeah.
that would sell
Yeah.
very well.
Exactly.
It's very chic.
Oh my God, you nailed it. Exactly. It's functional, fashionable.
I would wear it.
Yes.
Okay, baby.
Yeah,
We make you
yeah.
one.
Hey, you got a double extra me.
But I have more ideas that I want to, bring to life, and I have also like they come with a hoodie and inked, Like,
Oh,
See, that's
yeah.
that's an awesome idea.
yeah.
So start with
for
the
festivals
shawl.
and stuff like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be great at a
So they're-
festival, sure.
Oh,
Well, what happened?
well,
Oh,
this girl that I met in Cannes, she gave it to me, so I was like,
oh.
it's okay, but I lost it here. That's good because I can
Well, you
still.
didn't lose it.
Didn't
Now
lose
I can,
it on the plane.
Now I can use it for my water bottle.
Okay.
Or
Multifunctional too. See?
a tassel, maybe.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, and I also vocal coach. So that's how I make
Oh, that's
my
another
living
thing
as
because
well.
I was looking at your Patreon today.
Yeah, I do vocal coaching as well. That's
Yeah.
how I've been making my living. But I'm kind of in transition where I just really want to focus on making music full time.
No,
And travel full time,
Of course.
maybe.
Now, how you have to have some sort of talent to go to a vocal coach to begin with, right? Because I can't sing with the
You
band.
have to have definitely the will to wanting to do that, the passion. If you don't have the passion, then if you're not as talented to begin with, it might be really hard for you. But if you don't have as much talent to come in, but you have that passion, you can learn how to sing.
My wife has passion to sing, and she doesn't have the balls yet.
You
But
know, because
she's very talented.
yeah,
But I think she's been suppressed most of her life. A lot of her friends and her late husband used to play guitar for a lot of people. And having someone that would be supportive like that would be great.
Yeah.
I think what
Yeah.
you do is great.
well, because I'm not so much of a technical coach, I'm way more of what you were just talking about, and you too. It's so much of it is mental, it's psychological.
Really?
So once you kind of tap into that, like getting rid of that fear, getting rid of that, like
Yeah, if you see
being
people with-
subconscious, you know what I mean?
If you see people with confidence, and they're confident, like it carries over on stage.
Absolutely.
Because you're the one that's selling.
Yes.
And what are you selling? You're selling your goods, and
Selling-
your goods are you.
You're selling yourself, yeah.
And that's a very important
And being
thing.
authentic, because a lot of singers, they compare themselves to like Celine Dion or like, Christina Aguilera or someone like that. And it's like, no, you are you.
Right.
If you have your own voice, your
Who was
own
that
range.
kid that was just on Alexandro?
I don't know.
He was on The Voice or something.
Oh, I haven't watched the latest.
I watched that because I'm almost hitting that age where
Yeah, it's mandatory.
watching everything. Oh, look, that person's got talent. I'm crying.
Right.
But no, this guy was so good.
Right.
But he was himself.
Exactly.
And
you have
that's
to be
what's
yourself.
important. When you sound like a cookie that everyone has on their
Yeah.
shelf,
Yeah.
Eh.
Boring,
very.
So, it's where does the time go? I think I wanted to get.
Is it over?
No, it's not hard. No, we got 3 more hours to go. No,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
No, I wanted to get some of the stories you were telling me at the whiskey. You were regaling me and Hannah about the Sunset Strip back in the day.
Oh
in the
my
80s.
gosh. Well,
You would do comedy at these
yes.
places.
You have to write a book about that.
This one comic and I, he goes, "Hey, they want us to go do a set over at the Rainbow."
Right.
And I go, "Huh? Okay."
It's like 87?
Yes.
86?
No, it was 80,
Or 85?
84.
84, okay.
84, 83, 84.
Okay.
And the little balcony,
Right.
okay? They
The
got,
Hollywood Vampire Balcony.
yeah, is that what it's called? I don't know. It was the first time I was
No,
there.
there's a sign that says Hollywood
Oh, really?
Vampires, and I guess John Lennon and Keith Moon
Yeah.
and Alice Cooper.
So that's where we have to perform from, up there, with a mic.
You ever been to Rainbow, Jacqueline?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like when we first moved to LA, I did a few acoustic shows there.
Okay, so here's the stage.
So upstairs, right? Like on
Well,
the.
it's upstairs, but the stage is down here. You're looking either at the stage or you're looking at the crowd.
Okay. Okay.
So, and Guns N' Roses was there that night,
Oh,
and I remember going.
That's
My friend goes
insane.
up there and he dies a miserable death, and I'm watching this going.
Yeah.
I'm next. So I hung from the balcony because the guys were trying to spit on us, and I go, I can spit lower than you can spit higher, so don't. And I'm leaning on the thing, and I'm doing my stuff, and all of a sudden the owner comes out and goes, "Can you go to the whiskey?" And I go, I thought it was over, man.
Yeah,
You know, your balls get back tucked. Well, not you, but your balls get tucked in. You're going, "Jeez." I just had an argument with what's his name from Guns N' Roses.
Axel?
Axel.
Axel.
Because that was the time when he was using a lot, and and we had
Look at see some Star Trek. Look at
Yeah.
That must have been awesome.
and we had an argument. So I go to
about what?
well, because he was being an ass,
Oh, okay.
and I told him, "Hey, man,
Yeah.
I'm a young kid. I don't care who you are,
Right.
because
Yeah.
before you really think, you open your mouth and then you go, oh, that was a mistake.
Yeah.
That cost me." And so we went to the whiskey, and here's the whiskey, and I'm going, again, we have to do this crap? Nobody's there. Nobody's there for stand-up.
Right.
But it was $25, both places.
Yeah.
That's $50. That's a
Wow.
lot, So that actually went pretty well, and then we started doing it every week.
Okay.
To the point where I got, okay,
Wow.
this is easy. It wasn't so hard anymore.
Right. So you were going to the Rainbow and the Whiskey, and you had to be. That was like what Poison, Motley Crue, all those guys. And
Oh yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Because when I started out, there was the morgue in Alhambra,
Okay.
San Gabriel morgue, or San Gabriel.
The actual morgue.
Yes, it closed
now
down.
you're going goth.
No,
Okay.
it had closed
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
Yeah, it closed down, and right next door is where they opened. Well, they rented out to Motley Crue and Stormer, this band.
Okay.
And they had different rooms like this one here, studios, and it was an overnight thing, and most of the guys from Motley Crue would live in there, and Stormer. So
Okay.
I was there every night for parties and everything.
Oh really?
else.
So when
So Timmy Gaines,
That's
which
so
is in
cool.
Striper,
so like the dirt, like you were there.
I was there, and then Striper, Timmy Gaines was the bass player for
The Christian heavy metal.
Yes,
band.
but before that, he was in Stormer. And so you're sitting there going, what are you doing? You're throwing Bibles at people now? That's how well we knew him.
and it worked.
And it worked perfectly for them, and they're very talented.
Yeah, no.
Timmy was very, very talented. And then one time we were at this place, it was Vandy Camps
Okay.
in Arcadia. And Tommy and I had a gross out party. We get there late. And he had just finished.
Okay, now you and the guy from Striper are having a gross out party.
No, Tommy
With Tommy Lee?
Lee.
Oh, okay.
But Timmy was there because we'd go there late night after
Even
shows.
better. So you and Tommy Lee are having a gross out party.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Okay, we're all set up. I got to hear
Yeah,
this.
so what it was you put everything inside in a milkshake, and you got to drink it. So then he drinks this one, and I go, wait. I put ashes and cigarette butts, and I drink this, and he goes, that's it, that's enough. And that was right before they signed with the T's hair and everything, because he was showing us the copies
Right.
of stuff, and this was way back in the day. I got to experience a lot of stuff between then.
So you were like Ozzy before Ozzy, because
Yeah.
that was the whole thing. They dared him to snort ants,
yeah.
and you were doing the
way
same
before
shit.
that,
yeah.
And Tommy could do anything. He was.
Well,
he
what's
was funny.
the wildest thing you saw him do?
Just that kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
and then we would hang there, and then the Van Halens were there all the time. I grew up in that era.
Okay.
There was a place in Arcadia called Roxanne's.
Okay.
There was a little club that was probably about the size of this, but it was hopping all the time. And then Snookies.
Was it you that told me that the Van Halen played their high school dance or something?
Oh, they played my high school dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I went to Bishop Ammont, and our senior year, our second to senior year.
That's
'cause
insane.
I didn't graduate senior year, and it was.
I told you he's got some great stories.
It was David Lee Roth and the rest of them in our gymnasium, and these Catholic girls lost their mind,
I can't imagine, yeah.
Because you got Dave wearing the leather really low, where you could see the little devil line, Devil's Trail.
Oh.
And I took this.
Oh,
I'm Cuban,
man.
and I took this other Cuban gal, Ileana,
Right.
and all she did was stand in front of that speaker, ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. I couldn't get in there
Just
word
just
edgewise.
staring at that David Lee
Oh
Roth
yeah,
treasure
just
trail.
oh Lord, look at that.
And little did they know.
And 2 weeks. And here's the funny thing: after the dance, that whole week, that band sucked, man. 2 weeks later, they signed. They played our school. They were great. I go, you.
That always happens, right?
I know.
People
And
are
it's
so
like,
funny.
But
when you watch them and forget that Dave stole your girlfriend because he did that to everybody. But
he didn't steal my girlfriend.
I know. He got her excited.
Who didn't he steal?
Yeah,
he was like fully sex right there.
Right. Right. But I mean, when you saw them play a high school dance, were you like, they're a little better than most of the bands?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But then again, I used to hang out at their after backyard parties.
Oh, that's right. You told me that.
Yeah, because I would open by opening. This is what I call opening. Hey, introduce the band, would you?
So you introduced Van Halen at a keg party.
Yeah, and that
is just so
but it's
badass.
great,
Sorry.
No, you can say badass.
No, I slammed my head.
Can she? Because it's your show.
No, say badass. Slam things on the table.
But the thing is that sometimes I sit back and go, I've had a hell of a wild ride.
That's insane.
I worked for someone one time, and I was doing their tapes and stuff. It was programming, and I come down and I look in the studio, and there's John Entwistle, and Rod Stewart.
Right, John Entwistle from the Who and Rod Stewart. Okay,
and I'm like, and the guy goes, "Hey, we're going to lunch. You want to come with us?" Yeah. Keith Richards. Yeah, I want to go.
Oh my God.
So we spend the whole afternoon there, and then years later, not years later, but a couple years later, I go to the top of the rainbow to the bar,
Right.
And Sam is there, Sam Kinison. He goes, hey, because Sam was always really nice. If he liked you, he wanted to introduce you to people, and
Right.
He goes, I want to meet somebody. As I'm walking there, there's John Entwistle. He goes, Franchie, how you doing? And Sam goes, what? So, I mean, like we've all seen a lot of things.
Yeah, yeah.
And by the way, it's Franchie, not Frenchie.
Yeah, it's Franchie.
How many people got that wrong?
And they call me asshole too. But I don't even know how that sounds right.
Well, please, I can see that. But and you're Cuban. Was that ever an impediment in comedy, or nobody cared?
Well, back then, you see, I don't let people. I'm not one of these Latin comics that has to say my ethnicity every 10 minutes.
Right.
Because I live my life the way it is. I don't think I'm brown. I don't think I'm this. Sometimes I do if someone's giving me crap or something.
Right.
But for the most part, I just think of myself as a person living.
Right.
And it's funny because when you start looking at things past the color, you realize we're really all the same.
We are.
But unless you're white, you don't really have those problems.
Right.
But if you're any kind of ethnicity, you have problems.
Right.
If you speak with a different accent, people look at you like, and they don't realize. When I was in Mexico, the saddest thing was that I wish people could really see how nice it really is, and how genuine people are, and how not stupid they are.
Right.
Well, here's the other thing too, because the Latin countries, if you misidentify somebody, they don't like if you talk to a Mexican, you think they're from Guatemala, or somebody from Guatemala's from El Salvador, somebody from Cuba's here. They hate that.
Oh yeah. Oh no, tell a Puerto Rican that
Dominican,
he's Cuban.
yeah.
Tell a Puerto Rican he's Cuban. Nah.
Exactly.
We're American.
So when you do Latin shows, there's no change in the act, huh?
Not really. I mean, I raised 4 kids.
Yeah.
I didn't raise them as a Cuban father.
Right.
I didn't raise them as a Latin father. I raised them as a father.
Right.
And I had different experiences in my life that I gave to my kids. My kids are very proud of being Cuban. Well, except my boy. He thinks he's Irish.
Yeah.
But
Cuban, Irish,
He goes, I'm Irish. No, you're not. No, you're not. Your mom was French and Blackfoot.
Not French. French.
Yeah.
Yeah.
French.
Yeah, I know. So, yeah. It's life is what it is, man.
Yeah.
It's like
and you're right. Everybody's the same everywhere, and the more you travel,
we
the more
all
you find
want.
out.
kind of the same things. We want to succeed.
Yes.
Right.
Good people want to succeed.
And you want to be happy.
Yeah.
You know?
Everyone wants to succeed. Everyone wants to be happy. Everyone wants to love.
I'm
Everyone
truly,
wants to be loved.
Yeah.
I'm truly one of those guys that one of my friends succeeds. It's not what can you do for me now. Man, good for you.
Exactly.
Because you have to be supportive. It comes back.
Exactly.
If it doesn't come back today, it'll come back in our next life. I don't care.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
You know, if I heard you won the lotto or all of a sudden you got syndicated,
Exactly.
good going.
That's great. No, that's
You know?
that's the way it is. It's you're never going to succeed off somebody else's.
I've watched enough people in this business make it, and I've seen enough people be assholes.
Mm-hmm.
All I want is to see succeeding.
Right.
You know, whether it's me or someone else. If another comic makes it, that's another comic makes it. You're not going to hear me go, that bastard.
So you're not going to sit there, God damn it, he got a Netflix special and I didn't. None of that.
No,
shit.
because you know what? It's up to me to get it, not them.
Exactly.
So
It's up to
true.
me.
So
Exactly.
true.
If I want to do a good job, I got to do a good job.
Exactly.
You know, I can't blame you for my shortcomings.
Yeah.
Right.
They're mine.
Exactly.
It's like musicians when they say, "Oh, this band sucks," you know, we are so much better. And I'm like, well, obviously you're not, because you're sitting here bashing that band that just succeeded.
I ain't got no room
you should
for
be,
that.
Yeah, you should be writing a song. Okay, you should be like honing on your craft and getting better and working harder.
I used to say this thing all the time because I know a lot of musicians. They this. I go, hey, we can't all be the Beatles, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you can't. You can't all be Lenny Bruce. You can't all be Richard Pryor. You can't be Dylan Brody. You can't be all these things. You got to be you.
Right.
And success is so, everybody's, your success, your definition of success and my definition might be completely different, right? Yours might be like you want to play like a big stadium, and someone else is like, hey, I just want to make enough to just live and travel a little bit.
My rest of my
you
life
know?
for someone to go, hey, I know who you are. Here's a donut. That's success to me.
And do what you love,
And
you
do
know?
what you love.
Yeah.
Because if every night...
You already win. If you do what you love, you're a winner.
When I performed at CIA,
Right.
when I went home, I was buzzed because it worked.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it made me
Yeah.
happy.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't matter if it was CIA. The people that owned it were really nice.
Yeah.
So cool. Carl,
Yeah,
he's
very.
cool.
It didn't matter if it was a corner. If I made you laugh,
Right.
Yeah.
I succeeded.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And you got to look at it that way, because the more negative you put in your body, the more negative you spew.
Right.
Yes.
I was going to say, the person I want, one of the people I want to have success is you, because you're starting your own podcast.
Thank you. Yeah.
And you had not mentioned that to me.
You know what? I don't know why I haven't mentioned that to you. It was something I've been wanting to do for like over a year now. I
Okay.
think we maybe briefly talked about it.
Maybe briefly, yeah.
And the main thing is about the podcast is about just being empathetic, like more empathy in this world, right? We need that more. And I want people to be heard, because everybody has a story, and so many people feel like alone. They feel like they're not being heard, they're not being seen. And I really want to open that up to everyone to say, hey, you know what? This person looks on the outside all perfect, but they have depression issues.
I think that's an awesome thing, because you know what?
Yeah.
If we just opened up and listened to people,
Yes.
we wouldn't have all these shootings. If somebody,
Exactly.
okay, wait, this person's different, celebrate it.
Yes.
Don't
yes.
make them feel like they have to prove different.
And not to be ashamed of that. A lot of
they
people don't
are.
want to share that, right? Because yes, we don't want to be negative. So you don't want to be always dwelling on it, but it's okay to say, hey, you know what, Mark? I have a shit day today,
Yes.
you know? Like, I feel really depressed. And you're like, oh my God, me too, right? Because all of a sudden you give someone else permission to just really be real versus being on Instagram and seeing all the perfect life
Here's how I
everybody's
deal
living.
with it. Try this. If somebody's
What?
having a bad day, here's what I do when I have
What do
a
you
bad
do?
day. Try that. Well, me, I just try to write. I try to
Yes.
create. That's what I do.
Exactly.
So, what your podcast is going to be called, or is
The
called?
stories that bind us.
The Stories That Bind
Yeah.
Us. And what type of guests are you going to have?
Everyone,
Yes.
like whoever wants to come on, I want them to be on. And you are, oh my God, we're going to spend like 5 hours talking.
we both,
like,
we
because
both want to come on, yeah.
I would love to have you on. Like seriously, I have one person. My first real episode was with a singer-songwriter who went through like a depression, and she's a mom, and like, you know, she stopped her band because of that. So it was like really hard for her. She kind of reinvented herself. And then I have two people that just went through cancer and their experience and it was just so inspiring, like how they really talked
See,
about.
and that's what people need, inspiring. They need to be able to
Yeah.
focus on someone else's issues and realize they're not alone.
Exactly. That's the whole point. Yeah.
Because everybody
has.
We're not so special that we are alone.
Yes.
Right.
There's people just like
and
us.
loneliness really is an epidemic in today's world because people feel so alone and disconnected, although we are connected.
No,
Right.
because that's not socializing.
It's not.
It's not. Yeah. People are not connecting on a real level. Anymore.
Exactly.
When people go
connecting on
see
a
your
child
show,
level.
or your show, or my show,
Or your show.
what they're doing is they're experiencing real life right now.
And there's
instead of
nothing like it.
It's
There's
nothing like it.
You know?
And we
And
all
we need that.
I've seen it with both of you. And where does the time go? Now that's been an hour, and I could talk to both of you forever.
I
And
know.
it went by
awesome.
so quick. There's so much more I want to get.
Because it's conversation. We love conversons, and that's
Exactly.
what we, ache for.
I don't think
Well,
anything phony here. That's why.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
I could listen to your accent all day. I just love it.
Thank you.
You have the softest
Listen
German
to
accent.
you, but not me. I'll talk to
Thank
the
God
mic.
I don't talk like the Germans that talk like this.
I'm used to like Colonel Clink and stuff like Hogan.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and you don't have that. You have just.
I think when I came to
soft.
America, I was trying really hard to like imitate like the American accent, so that's why it's probably a little bit softer.
Yeah, it's very soft, and you have that French lilt now too.
Bonjour. Like I just want to go. Like when I was in France, I don't really speak French. I just know a few words, but like I love going around. Bonjour, bonjour. I'm like
I have a friend of mine's
that.
mom, very French, married his father because he was in World War II. I love this woman. Every time she answers the phone, hello.
Hello.
And she's 100 years old, and every time she does, my nipples get hard.
Right.
I love it.
Hello.
It's such a sexy language. It really
It is.
It is.
Much better than Spanish.
And Italian. I love Italian too.
No,
oh my God.
no. That's the language of love.
Spanish is weird, man.
no.
Oye, ¿cómo estás?
Or oye, ¿cómo estás? You know.
Yeah, but you see, that's what it sounds to me like the guy's going, get in the van. Maybe because I was raised with it, you know.
Half the time they are.
Yeah,
And
that's
then you're
true.
the one getting.
Get in la troca.
You're the one getting kitty porn out of a house. But Franchie.
No, it took the edge off of it.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
2 hours smoking pot, and then yeah,
Hey, is that my brother?
yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Exactly. I think I took that picture. So, how do people get a hold of you, Franchie?
Well,
That's why I'm so fucked up.
Yeah. Hear more fucked up child porn jokes.
you can. That comes back to bite me. Facebook,
Yes.
Franchie San Pedro. I'll be at the Ice House on the 25th and Taco Tuesdays.
Oh, okay.
And then
I might swing by then.
And, yeah, please do.
I love the Ice House.
Wait,
I
where's
love the
that?
Ice
Where's
House.
that?
Ice House is in
Pasadena.
Pasadena.
Oh,
Let's
I thought
go.
the Ice House. And yes, let's do
Yeah,
it.
and then on August 1st, I'm at the Ice House for the All-Star. One's a Tuesday,
that-
one's a Thursday.
I'll have to do the Tuesday because I'm always taping for Thursday. But Franchie is one of the best comics I've
Oh my
seen.
God,
Oh, thank
yes.
you.
He's terrific, and I mean, before we go, real quick, ranking the since you played them all, L.A. comedy clubs. What do you think? Is Ice House number one? Is Laugh Factory number one? Comedy Store, Improv?
Well, I haven't done the Comedy Store in a long time. I would say the Comedy Store is the best place to go because you're constantly playing. You learn a lot from watching all the other comics, young or old.
Right.
There's always room to learn.
Right.
The Laugh Factory, I love that one in Long Beach. I love it the most.
Yeah, it's bigger
Venue, in a humongous place. My favorite place is the Ice House. I've
Yeah.
been going there since before I was a comic. I watched the Smothers Brothers there.
Really? Oh. We got to have you back and hear all this stuff. wanna
I
hear.
saw that when I was a little kid through the doors, you know. Flappers is okay.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't played there for a while. A friend of mine just got in,
Right.
so I'll be there more often just to buy a beer.
Yeah.
But those are the places I love the most. And all these little rooms. Billy Blatz has got a great room in Van Nuys.
Right. I'm playing.
That's
I'm playing.
nice.
I'm playing there.
Yeah, it's a
I'm
Springbok.
playing there on not this Saturday, but next Saturday. So.
Really? Yeah. And Billy,
Oh, we can make it out.
He does a great job. And
Yeah.
he doesn't. Not a lot of people know this, but he's a great drummer.
Have you been to the dojo here?
No, I haven't been to the JoJo.
Yeah, I haven't performed, but it's a nice room.
Mike Miratori told me about the dojo, but he
Yeah.
always promises and never shows.
Yeah, but I think I agree with you honestly because I haven't played it in a while, but like Laugh Factory Hollywood was like my favorite because it's so impossible to bomb there the way they have it set up.
Yeah.
Same with Ice House.
Yeah, well, no. I bombed once at the Ice House way back in the beginning.
Right.
Ooh, wee, oh, wow. Too many painkillers.
Right.
You know, and way too many painkillers.
But would you agree with me?
Oh, no.
Laugh Factory Hollywood.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost
made
impossible.
for comedy.
It's exactly. So that would be my favorite.
You walk in, it's cold. I like cold rooms.
Right.
You know, it keeps people alert.
Improv's good, but you got to work.
I didn't mention the improv because I was never an improv comic. I performed there a few times, and I performed at their other clubs, satellite clubs, but I wasn't.
As far as the Melrose,
I wasn't TV quality.
Right. Melrose Improv it's good, but you got to work.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just half-ass it there. And
well, back then, no. Back in the day, it was one of those places where if you were funny, you'd get the laughs.
Right. No,
it was a good place.
No, but I mean, like a set that you breeze through at the Laugh Factory, you got to really be on top of the crowd at the Improv. Yeah.
Well, they're a little more trendy.
Right. And Comedy Store, there's 3 rooms. Anyway, I can't get into it, but Franchie San Pedro on Facebook, not Twitter or Instagram. You got to work on that.
I got Twitter.
Okay, you got Twitter too, and yeah, see him at the Ice House.
Not your grandmother's shit.
Okay, not your grandmother's shit on Twitter. Go check him out at the Ice House. Definitely worth it. Ice House is a great club, and to see Franchie there is great. And Jacqueline,
you need an Instagram.
Yeah, all of the stuff that you got going on. What do you got?
JacquelineVanBierk.com, and I'm on Facebook as well, and
now is your
Twitter, Pink Star Music, but I'm not very active.
Now, what does that mean, Pink Star Music?
It's I just love Pink. I've always loved Pink.
Ah. and how do we hear the podcast? Is it on? Is it going to be on Spotify?
It's on Anchor.
Apple,
it's on Anchor. So have you heard of Anchor?
No.
Yeah, it's distributed through Anchor and is on 2 other places that I actually don't even know at the moment because I'm just starting out. I just know, it's one of those things I don't even know. Like I just had to do it, so it's my mission, I think, to bring people together through stories. But
I gotta get this show on Anchor. I don't know.
Yeah, Anchor is free and it's good for beginners, I guess.
Okay.
So the stories that bind us, Anchor.com and then /. But if you go on Facebook, Jacqueline Van Bierk, it's there. Yeah.
And do you have any live performances coming up?
I was supposed to play the Dark Mark show again. That's coming up sometime soon, so I don't really know yet.
Okay,
but
well, we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that.
Anyway,
but yeah, soon.
Anyway, we're late. My producer's about to kick us out of here. Everybody have a wonderfully creepy week.
Thank
Bye.
you for having
Bye-bye,
us.
and
Bye.
thank you, Mark.
Thank you.